Greetings, Greywitch here. So today we're going to continue along with my Rebuilding My Empire, and I thought I would do a garage tour, show you all the vehicles that I have acquired since I have started doing this. Now this first garage here is mainly racing cars, mostly sports cars and supercars, so we'll take a look at these. Now this first one right here is the ProGen PR4. I won this one off of the wheel at the casino, and I really dig driving this one in open lobbies, not so much racing it. The races are kind of jinky, not too good at them. But in open lobbies, I love driving this car. It's really fast and handles really well. Now, next to that would be the Truffati Thrax. This is another car that I won off the wheel, and this is my absolute favorite for racing supercars. It handles corners amazingly well. Great top end, great acceleration, all of that's 100% great. Awesome car for racing. So, next to that one would be the Pegassi Reaper. Now, I bought this car mainly because of how many times I drove it using it in the import-export DLC. So I decided I would have to own this one. I've driven it a million times. I love the way it handles. Don't really race it too much, so it's more of a lobby car, but I do dig it, and it looks pretty cool. So gotta have a kind of a cool-looking car like that. Now, next to that is the Grote Turismo Classic. Now, this is my all-time favorite. Top 10, easily top 5 car in the game. It's an amazing car. The only problem with this car is it's in the sports classics category, so I don't really get a chance to race it that often. I really wish it was in sports or supercar. Now, next to that is its little brother, the Grote Turismo R. Now, this is a really, really good car for the amount of money that you're paying for it. $500,000. You get a great supercar. It's a little slow, but great acceleration, and you can do some winning with this car. It handles great. Now, up next would be the Enus Paragon R. Now, this is a sports car that I really, really dig because it's kind of like driving a muscle car. Has a great engine sound. It's a little squirrely in the tail end, but it's a really fun one to drive. And next to that, it'd be pretty much the best vehicle in the game, mainly because it's free and it is a decent vehicle that they give you. So, if you're looking for a really good free sports car, can't go wrong with the Enus Elegy RH8. It's a really good car. There's a lot you can do with it. And it's a little slow, but it handles good. So you'll dig it. Now this one right here, I just recently went back to. I used to race this one a long time ago, but I gave it up when newer cars came out. But I really love the way that this one handles. It's not as fast as some of the other sports cars, but it's one of those ones that you can push really hard. And I would much rather have a car like that I could push harder than one that's too fast for the tracks that I'm doing. So I really dig the Dink Adjuster. And then right next to that one is the Karen Futo. Now, I'm not good at driving this vehicle, but it's a cool vehicle, and it's so inexpensive to upgrade and to purchase, because it's only $9,000, that it's worth it to have it as just an ornament in my garage. I dig this car. It's something I'm working on still, being able to drive it as a drift car, because I'm just horrible at that. And then finally, for this garage is the Grote Brioso RA. This is in the compact category, and I really like to have something in every category just so I have a customized car for it. And this is a great little one. It's kind of derpy, but it's really good for short tracks and a lot of fun to drive. So you should get one of these too. Now this second garage is mainly work vehicles and off-road and a few motorcycles. So up first, the Heavy Insurgent. So if you need to do something for missions and you got to bust through a lot of cops or just cause mayhem on the roads, this is the vehicle you want to do it with. Kind of expensive, but it's well worth it. Just to be able to bust through crowds and take a couple explosions, it's really worth having that as in your garage. Now, next to that is my absolute favorite vehicle for doing missions in, and that is the Imponte Duke of Death. This is a really cool car. I own 2 Dukes. I only wish that this one was a little bit more bulletproof, maybe as bulletproof as the Armored Kuruma, and then it would be perfect for me. I love the way it handles. I love the way it drives. And this would be my main car if it was a little bit more armored. And then you have to have the Armored Kuruma. And this one is just the all-around perfect mission vehicle. It has good bullet resistance. I would say it's bulletproof, but it's better than most of the other vehicles. It doesn't really handle any explosions, so you don't want to really be caught near anything that explodes near it. But for bullets, you can't beat it. It's one of the best ones in the game to have. So up first here with my motorcycle, I got the Dinka Akuma, and this is hands down the best motorcycle in the game. It's the fastest accelerating bike. It handles like a dream, and it's probably the most winningest bike in the game. And I guarantee you, if you race motorcycles, you have one of those in your garage. Great bike. Now this is another one that I won from the wheel. It was actually a mystery prize. And this is the Shih-Tzu Hakuchou or however it's pronounced. I don't know. I've never heard it actually pronounced. So there's this one. It's a pretty cool racing bike. I don't keep it fully upgraded, but it's cool. So over here is off-road vehicle, the Karen Evron. Now this one has replaced all my other racing off-road vehicles. I love this one. It handles great. It's fast. It did have a bit of an issue with tipping over, so you got to kind of lower the suspension down. But once you get that figured out, it's really a great vehicle, and I dig racing this one. It's a blast to have around. And that's another one that I actually won from the wheel. Now this is the Canis Mesa Merriweather version. And this one, it's usually overlooked because it's in the Warstock category, 80,000, great car for off-road. It's not such a good off-road vehicle, but it's more for like cruising around the beach and just having fun. And that's mainly what I use it for. It's just a fun lobby vehicle. I don't really race this one or do anything that I would normally do off-road vehicles with. So here is one of my 3 off-road vehicles now. This one is the Manchez, the Mayabatsu Manchez, and I've just got this one. I'm trying to see if it's worth keeping. I'm not really sure yet because I have 2 others that I'm kind of playing with. This one I dig. I don't know if I like the original Sanchez better, but I don't know. It's one of those things I'm kind of trying to work out right now because I've got this one, and then I've got the, which one is it? The Dinka Enduro right here. And this one's pretty cool. I dig this one. It's, it's like the one that Rambo drove. It's, it's cool. You can go up to the Sandy Shores, harass the sheriff, have some fun, whatever you want to do. But it's a great off-road vehicle. I dig it. It's just not as fast as some of the other ones, so I'm trying to figure it out. Try to figure out which one's going to be the one that I really want. I'm not quite sure yet because I still use this one, which is the Mayabatsu Sanchez. And this one's pretty much my favorite, but I don't know. It just needs to be a little bit faster. And I think that's what I'm looking for. It's just a little bit faster off-road vehicle. I still haven't tried the BF400 yet, but I don't really like the way that one handles. So I don't know. It's going to be one of those things that I kind of play around with for a while until I figure out which off-road bike that I really dig the most. All right, so in my final garage here, this is pretty much muscle cars and toys. What I got here is the Dukes, set up in the Dukes of Hazzard kind of style. Because this has been pretty much my stunt vehicle. I've been using this for all kinds of ridiculousness. I love this vehicle. It handles really good. It's, it does have some issues with spinning out, but for what it is, it's an awesome vehicle. Now next to that is the Blade, and I love this vehicle. It's the Vapid Blade, and it's been my most winning muscle car. I win the most races with it. It's just an all-around great car. It's not the fastest in the game, but the handling in it is phenomenal. You can really push it hard, and it's one of the cars that I dig the most in the game. It's just a great-looking car, and it handles awesome. Now, next to that, this one I had to have. It's the Vapid Hot Knife. This was just something that I wasn't allowed to get when I had the PS3 because I didn't buy the special edition. So the first thing I did when I got the PS4 was buy this vehicle. And I love it. It doesn't handle that great, but it looks great. And you can do the little glitch to get rid of the fenders. It looks even more awesome. I really dig this one. I actually like this one more than the one that they brought into the game that this one is actually supposed to be from. I think it's the Hustler. Yeah, something car like that. All right, so next to that is one of my first Western motorcycles. And this one right here is the Sovereign. I brought this one over from PS3. I've had it for a while. I dig it. It's something I wish that we could paint. I mean, I love the stars and stripes. That's great. But this bike looks so awesome, solid black. I've seen modders do it, and it just looks really good. And I wish we could paint it. Any color would be awesome, but solid black would make that look great. So up next we have the Western Bagger. Now I have this one just more of a cruising bike because I don't really use this one for racing at all because it's slow. But it's great just for cruising around on the map. If you got a bunch of people riding around on motorcycles and you just want to take it easy and ride in formation or something like that, this is a good bike to do that with because it handles really easy and it's not something that's too fast. So here's another vehicle that I brought over from PS3. This is the the Albany Roosevelt. And it's a great vehicle. I love the classic look to it. And I wish there was more things for it to do with it, but it is a great car. Now, next to that is the Hermes. And this is a really, really cool car. It's based off the old Mercury and basically a lead sled. And there's a lot you can do to this one. It's got airbags, suspension, so it's cool unless you're trying to back up over a curb or something like that. But I love this car. It looks great. There's a ton of things you can do to make it look really cool. I've got mine pretty simple right now, but I don't race this one. This one's more just for lobbies, but it is a lot of fun until it starts rolling over, because it'll roll over quick. Now, this one here is the Vapid Click. And I got this one for Christmas one year, and I just kept it in there. I've got it fully upgraded, and I kept the Christmas livery on it just because it looks awesome. When you leave this park somewhere with a ignition bomb in it, it's a guaranteed fun time for somebody. So that's been mainly what I've been doing with it. It's kind of expensive to repair, but man, it's fun if you leave a ignition bomb in it and just park it somewhere, because everybody's like, ooh, it's a present. They go to jump in it and they drive off and boom yow. Fun times. All right, so here's one of my favorite racing motorcycles, and this is the Cliffhanger. It's a great Harley type bike that's pretty much the closest to a sports bike that they have in here for the Western category. I dig this one. I love the engine sound for it. It's really light, and it could almost be a good off-road bike, but I don't know. It's just kind of weird. I dig it more as like a short track bike than anything else. But then again, the Akuma can beat this hands down. And then right here is my favorite of all time. If I could own a bike in real life, this would be the one that I would own. This is the Western Zombie Bobber. And the way I have it set up here is the way I would have it set up in real life. It's just matte black with red rims. It just looks sick, sounds awesome, and is the bike that I ride around pretty much the most of the game. Usually if I'm in the lobby, I'm on this bike. It's just one of those ones that are, I don't know, I totally love it. It's a really cool bike. You need to have one in your garage. See you next time. Peace!